Hi everyone, today we're going to be starting off this picture. This is the calendar page from the 2021 Johanna Basford planner. This is the week of September the 13th. You see, I've popped a little piece of paper behind the picture so that it protects the book. And what I've decided to do with this tree is something a little bit different. I'm going to do some pastel colours mainly. I've got my Holbein set here. I've got the little tin here, that's not from the tin. So here's the tin of pastel shades, and I've got a few open stock that I bought from Jackson's Art as well. So I'm going to use these for the tree. I've done this tree a few times and I just wanted to do something really different. I'm going to start by zooming in a little, and I thought I'd start with the trunk area. There we go. And I'm going to do this top part. Oh, let's just get it. I might just try and get the whole of the trunk into shot. Just about there. That'll do. Now I bought a few brownish colours here for Worlds of Wonder, because I thought I would need like sort of house colours. So I'm going to have a go with those. They are quite pale, but obviously they're pastel shades, which is why I bought them. But I thought it might be fun with the tree. I'm just giving them a sharpen. Now, the Holbeins are expensive. I think these were £3 each per pencil. Now, if you're not from the UK, you may not know what that means or how that compares, but it's almost twice the price of what I can buy a Prismacolor or a Polychromo for open stock. Now I'm actually going to start with my lightest shade, and this is the Sand. You may not be able to see that, it's quite small, and I'm going to go over the whole of the trunk in a light layer, and I just want to see what it actually looks like, because I haven't used these very much. I can't remember how much they show up. It's quite pale, isn't it? What I think it might be easier to do, you see, is to have a layer down first and then just pop some darker colour where I think it's needed. Now I'm not going to colour the whole of the tree today, because I think it will take too long. Whoops, I've got pencils under my elbow, but I should do a little bit for you. I'm just warming myself up by colouring in quite a bit of this trunk in this colour. You can see I'm just trying to keep it fairly even. It's not always easy to get pencil even, but I find it a lot easier than pen, because if you miss a bit you can go back over it and it seems to work. I find with pen, if I miss a bit I go over it, I get a weird overlap and it just looks a bit odd. Now I'm going to fill that in. You could leave that blank as if you're looking through, but this tree is so intricate, it's always quite complicated to work out how to colour it. So I'm just going to do all of it in this colour and then show you some ideas for where I might make it darker in places to make it look a bit more three-dimensional. We'll also be able to test how well the Holbeins lay down on top of each other, because sometimes once you've got a light layer of pencil down with some brands, it's then very hard to get another one, particularly a darker one on top. I find that's particularly true for some yellows, particularly Polychromos yellows I find quite difficult, and Ergosoft yellows, but I struggle with yellows. Not sure why really. I just always find them difficult to blend and things. Although I can make gold, which is browns and yellows, so I don't know why I struggle. Right, that's a basic layer of that colour. You could do any colour for this, any brand of pencil. I'm just going to check that I've done all the little intricate bits near the tree. I'm not going to worry too much about any bits of branches that are further away from the tree trunk. I don't think there are many anyway. Okay, and now I'm going to use, let me think, which will work. Probably this one. This is it's called Cork. And I'm going to look at the areas that I think need to be a little bit darker. See, I think this bit here is set back, so it's in sort of shadow here. So I'm going to go over that. And some of these gaps, what looks to me like gaps anyway. Oh, there's a very pretty bird outside. I don't know if you can hear it. I'm not sure how much this microphone picks up on this new camera. So I haven't really listened back that intensely. I'm not, oh, I've done that in brown, but not that. I'm going to not worry about that in a minute. I'm going to go around the edge of this door in a lightish layer of this. I've got a different idea for the door. That could be brown. Maybe like, you know, the bottoms of the branches and then going up and in behind here. In some areas Johanna's drawn us some guide lines to show where it needs to be shaded, so that can be quite helpful. But I find if you go darker along the bottom, a little bit lighter as you go up, that helps a little bit, because the light is going to be coming from the top in most pictures that you do. And some people will think hard about their light source. They might place something on the paper to remind them where their light source is coming from. Right, sorry about that disturbance with the telephone ringing. I will carry on trying to remember where I was at with both colouring and talking. I'm trying to fill in these areas that I think would be darker. So along here with this, this is the Khaki pencil. I don't think I was using that before. I wasn't. I'm going to show it you and I'm going to carry on with it. The Khaki. So we'll use it in some of these areas. We'll get a different colour brown then, won't we? A bit of variation in the tree. So I was talking about light and shade a little bit. Now some people, as I said, think about where their light is coming from and then colour their whole picture based on that. Whereas I find that a little bit too complex for me at this stage. So what I do is I just look at items and think about where things are under other things, and think about, just imagine the light is coming from the top. So if the light is coming from straight down onto the page or from straight down from the sky, so I'm thinking this branch here is going to be darker underneath where there's some shadow from the branch itself and the tree, and then it'll be lighter in the middle. So that's how I am just colouring it, with a little bit of shine in the middle, and I'm going to continue that onto this part of it as well. And then with these branches we do a little bit of darker colour down here. This one is just set back, so I'm just going to sort of do all of it a little darker to just make it look further back, and a bit at the bottom of here, sort of a bit each side really of this branch. And this one, oh, just checking you can see, I'm not quite sure how far out my camera is. I think you can just about see me doing this bit, and there, and then a little bit on the edge of here too. I'm doing that a little bit lighter if I can. We want to do this side to match the other side. This is a symmetrical drawing. When we have a symmetrical drawing, I do like to try and make it look the same each side if I can. So I'm just sort of checking what I've been doing on the other side. That's why I'm lifting my hand a little look, just to try and match it up as best I can. And then down the sides of the trunk, just put a little bit of colour here. That bit is going to be dark, but we'll use the other pencil for that in a minute. So I'm sort of using this one to define the edges of the tree and the edges of the branches, and I'm going to go back to using this cork colour to do some of the bits that I think are set slightly further back. So I did this bit here, but on this side it's a slightly different design. This bit isn't actually symmetrical, So I'm just going to do a few bits here and here. And I feel that this bit here would be a little bit darker. It's set back, but we don't have that on this side. So although I said it was symmetrical, it actually isn't. And I'm thinking about bits that might be notches in the trunk where they would be set further back in the tree. So like that. I think I may leave that now. It's quite pale, I realise. We're using our pastel shades, so it is going to be pale. Now with the door, I'm thinking that I'd like it to look very welcoming with some light shining through. So I'm going to use this colour, which is a Naples yellow. I shall zoom in a bit so you can see a bit better. Let's just push it up and zoom in as far as I can. Well, as far as I can to keep it all in shot. I'm going to use the Naples yellow for most of this area. But not on these bits of sort of trellis. I'm not sure. I feel like it's a sort of gate rather than a door, so we can see all the light coming through. It could be glass, of course, and be a door, but I'm thinking gate. And so we do all these bits in the yellow. And it isn't hugely bright because, again, these are pastel shades, but I like it. I like this colour a lot, actually. You can tell because it's so short. I have used it quite a bit. So I always feel that, yes, it's an expensive pencil, but if I don't use it, then it's not good value for money. So I use my pencils, and if it runs out, well, then I just use a yellow from a different set instead until I buy some more or get sent some more. So I'm very lucky. I've been gifted a few sets of pencils recently. Now I'm quite tempted to do this as a dark colour, and I have got this really dark blue, but it's the only dark colour I have in this whole collection, so I don't think I'm going to use it because I think that would just be very strange. So I'm actually going to put it aside and not use it at all. I'm going to use, I think, the darkest of the pastel shades I've got is this, which is called Wisteria. It's very blunt. I should give it a sharpen. And what I want to do for the door is to try and make it look like it might be slightly metallic with a bit of a shine. They're quite difficult to do in a pastel shade, but we'll do our best. So basically nice and dark down here, so lots of layers, and then gently reduce the pressure and the amount of layers as we go up. This bit's going to be quite dark through because it's behind this bit of tree. It's going to be slightly shadowed. I'm going to use my eraser to just rub out this bit here at the top where I went over the line. But I don't want that to look yellowy. I can hear a delivery van outside. I am expecting a parcel. So, oh no, it sounds like it just turned round. Okay. So we're going to do these, and we're going to do them darker into the bottom and lighter at the top. In fact, I'm expecting a textbook for my son for college, and I ordered for him. He could have borrowed one, but he decided he wanted his own copy in the end. So I ordered it for him. It's arriving today. He wanted to be able to write in it and stuff, or not worry if he messed it up. I've done I want those bits a different colour. I'm going to use the blue to do these swirls, I think, just so it's a little bit different. So, but I'm going to do a similar thing where I put more layers here on the ends, and then reduce it towards the middle a little bit so it's not the same even tone throughout. Oh, I've just remembered, if we do get a delivery, my husband's here. He's always like paranoid about getting to the door before the delivery man. I don't really know why. So he's probably going to look out if he hears anyone. There we go. I think that looks quite cute. It's quite different as well. And we've got all the leaves. Now, I'm not going to have time to do all the leaves in the video, but what I'm going to do is show you a few ideas for the leaves. Let's pull the book down and come into the middle of the tree. Now, we've got all these circles in the background. Now, I think the best thing to do is to decide what you're doing with those first. Use your colour on those, and then you can do the leaves after. Now, I think, just looking at all my colours, I think what I am going to do is to do the background in that same blue. So this is the sky blue. I didn't tell you the colour of it, which was very useful. So I will just colour over all the circles like this. So quite a hard application of colour. So they look dark and perhaps slightly in the background. Do you see? So I'm pressing really hard. And I'm going over the whole lot. I'm not trying to separate each circle. I think that will be too tricky. In the actual version of this in Enchanted Forest, I think, it's a little bit bigger, so you might have space to do each one. But it also depends on how much patience you have. So you see, I'm just pressing quite hard. I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Sorry. So just going in quite hard like this, or someone's doing their recycling outside, it's very loud. So I'm just going to do a few more bits just so we can see how it's going to work with the leaves. Hi, I am so sorry. My goodness, my phone is busy today, isn't it? I need to make a phone call actually, but the people I need to phone aren't phoning me. So I'm just doing a few more of these areas in the dark blue so you can get the idea, but I will leave that now and move on to the leaves. And what I'm going to do with the leaves is I'm going to ignore all the little details on the leaves, and I'm going to pick a couple of different colours to go with. So we've got purples and pinks in this set like this, and I'm thinking I might go with these colours. This one is a slightly orangey colour. I'm not sure whether to use it. It's just called pink, but it always looks a bit sort of salmony to me. I'm trying to work out how I would combine them. I think I won't. I think what I'll do is I'll use each colour singly. So I'll go, we haven't done that bit of branch, but never mind. So I'll go with the dark. This is the Wisteria. And I'll go with this, and what I will do with the leaf is do a darker, more layers at the bottom, and then reduce it as we go up to the tip of the leaf. So we're only using the one pencil, but hopefully we're still going to get a graduation of colour from light to dark. Now, because the leaves are mainly, I'm just looking, symmetrical, we will then do this one the same. The idea is when you're doing you can do it completely randomly or completely symmetrically, but if you do a bit of a mix, I don't think it's going to quite work. So make up your mind what you're going to do and stick with it. So now I'm going to move on to this colour. This is the Mauve, and I shall do this leaf here. And what I'm going to do is, with this collection of colours, I'm just going to use these across the whole tree. So, so I'm going to mix them around a bit and just use one colour per leaf across the whole of the tree. And I will share a completed picture. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it at the end of this video. This is the, this is the rose pink, I think. Yep. It depends whether I get it finished in time for when this video goes out, but I'll pop it on my Instagram page. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I've got a tickle up my nose. So if you, so I know not everyone gets Instagram, but if you go onto Instagram, you can look. Actually, in the description of the video, there's my Instagram page. You can click on the link and you can view my Instagram. You don't have to be a member of Instagram to view. This is pink, You can just view it without being a member, as far as I'm aware, and have a look at the pictures on there. But a lot of people are on there, I know. You can follow me if you want to, and see all the things that I post, or just casually look every so often. It depends. Yeah, that is slightly orangey, but I think I'm going to introduce more colours into this. So I'm going to go for my light blue. This is the lavender blue. I'm going to pop that up here. I'm not going to do warmer colours, so I'm not going to go for the yellows, and I'm also not going to go for the greens, because that's just conventional. We're not doing conventional. I've done this tree in green before, for myself, not on a video, but I want to do something different, and I want to show you something different too. Now, pastel colours are quite difficult to find. These Holbeins are really popular because they're pastel, but I do think there are other brands that now have pastel colours in them. I'm wondering whether to do the ice green, but I don't think I will. I think I'm going to leave the greens, as I said, stick to my word, and then after this, I'm going to leave that here, and I'm just going to continue with the same technique, varying the leaf colour, and finish it. And what I am going to do actually is I will finish it, and I will put a picture up, so that then if you want to copy the colours that I use, you can do, because I think that's fair enough, and you'll be able to see it and have a go yourself. But of course, do be brave, do go for it, and do your own thing if you want to. So there we go. So that's the end of that one. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about all the interruptions, my goodness. I'm obviously popular today. And happy colouring.